This lesson is on triangle midsegments and the midsegment theorem. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the definition of a midsegment. A midsegment is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of the triangle. So a midsegment cuts the triangle in half. And the most important thing to remember about it is that what it does is it creates equal measures because it's at the midpoint. So this piece would be congruent with this piece, and this piece would be congruent with this piece, as long as this red line right here is a midsegment, because it connects at the triangle's midpoints. So the midsegment theorem tells us that the segment connecting midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is half as long as that side. So what that's saying is that the midsegment, this line, is parallel to the third side of the triangle. Now remember, this is congruent to this, and this is congruent to this. Now the additional point that the midsegment theorem makes is that the smaller line, the midsegment, is half of the longer line of the bottom. So if this is x, then this is 1/2 x. And if this is 2x, then this is 1x. So let's look at some examples. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about some parallel lines. So I'm looking for xy, and I want to know what side it's parallel to. And that's going to be parallel to AC. Now the next one is asking about CB. And I want you to try and tell me what segment that would be parallel to. All right, so that segment is going to be equal or parallel, to ZX. So now we're going to look at some midsegment. So if ZY is 6, it wants to know AB. Well, ZY is a midsegment for triangle ACB. So the midsegment is half of the large segment. So 6 equals 1/2 of x. Well, to get rid of 1/2, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2/1. So AB equals 12. Now we're going to look at letter D. If CY is 7, then ZX is a question mark. Now, important to remember that midsegments connect midpoints. So if CY is 7, then YB is 7. So then X equals 1/2 of 14, because this entire length would be 14. So X equals 7. Now I want you to try E on your own. So it says if AC equals 18, then what is XY? So XY is a midsegment. So if AC is 18, the midsegment has to be half of that. So X equals 1/2 of 18. So then the midsegment would be 9. All right, now let's look at example 2. If RS is 4x plus 5 and DE is 3x plus 25, what is the measure of RS? So we're going to have to solve for x first. And remember that because this is a midsegment, you need 2 of these to make 1 of these. So what I can do is I can say 2 times 4x plus 5 equals 3x plus 25. So 8x plus 10 equals 3x plus 25. That's 5x equals 15. So x equals 3. But it asked me to find RS. So 4 times 3 plus 5 is 12 plus 5, which is 17. Now I want you to try part B on your own, but first we need to fix a typo on your foldable. So instead of reading 8x minus 2, this should read 2x minus 2. And DE should read 2x plus 12. Now you can try B on your own. Alright, so let's look at B, where 2x plus 12 and 2x minus 2. And again, you're going to need 2 of these to make 1 of these. So 2 times 2x minus 2 equals 2x plus 12. So 4x minus 4 equals 2x plus 12. So 2x equals 16. And x equals 8. But what it asked us for was DE, so we have to plug in 2 times 8 plus 12. And that's 16 plus 12, which is 28. So DE should have been 28.